Hi, my name is Vicki Fairchild, and I'm here again with my sister Selma. Thank you so much. And today we're going to tackle the topic of fatigue. Parents of children with disabilities experience a different level of fatigue.
Probably.
And to start this out, I want to share my experience that I had.
Okay.
Selma knows what I'm going to talk about when I talk about fatigue, because it was, I think you probably heard about it.
I did. Vicky watched Joshua a lot.
So Selma,
So I wasn't so fatigued. Anyway.
So Selma had, and her family, were going on a vacation.
Right.
Or there was a vacation, and I was going to watch Joshua and Jeremy and Jamie.
Okay.
Now, at this point in their lives, I was 18 years old, so I had a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I was in great shape.
Yeah.
And Joshua was 9, and
Okay.
Jeremy was 7, and Jamie was 3.
Okay.
Yes, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Sounds right? And so I was going to have them for a week. What was I thinking?
I was going to go sleep a little bit.
And I'd watched him my whole life, but I think this was the first time I was doing a solo.
More than one.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
and he wasn't at Mom and Dad's where we
Right.
had a group effort.
Okay.
So one of the things I learned really quickly in this week experience was that he didn't sleep that well.
He didn't sleep that well.
He was 9 and he wasn't sleeping that well.
Yeah.
And I remember, that first night, getting them all to bed, getting the baths, getting everything done, being like, yeah, I got this. Going to sleep, and all of a sudden being tapped. Ee ee, and waking up, and there was Joshua.
There was Joshua.
Now, because he was autistic, the routine was so important, and
Right.
so I calmed him down, and I tried to put him into bed, and he had to say his night prayer.
Yeah.
Because
Even though he'd already said it.
because he wasn't going to go into bed without saying his night prayer.
Right.
So I did that. I did his whole night routine again, and I went back to bed. And probably
I can picture this.
an hour later, I was like, what are you doing? And so we had to go back, and we did the whole bedtime routine again. And he woke up 5 times that night.
That probably was a little more than that usual because I wasn't there.
Right.
I hope it
I
wasn't
was
5
not-
times every night.
I was not Selma. Anyway, but I was so tired. I mean, that whole week, the sleeping, it got better after the first night,
Yeah.
but he woke up
Right.
every night and just being exhausted by the time you got back. It was like, wait, you're only paying me how much?
I know, right? Wasn't enough, huh?
But then I was so tired that I forgot to give him his medication.
Oops, not a
Yeah,
good thing.
Yeah, and tried to take him to church.
Oh,
We lasted 15 minutes,
Okay.
and then we all went home.
you went home.
Because I just couldn't do it, and I was too tired, and it just was not going well.
I'm laughing and understanding. Anyway, sorry.
But in thinking about this, and one of the things I've also talked to parents about is sometimes with parents and for kids with disabilities, sometimes their stages last longer.
Right.
My kids slept through the night from about 6 weeks. I know it's not fair.
Okay, that's not fair. That didn't happen even with my other kids.
So I think about some of the things that some of the parents deal with and how fatiguing it is. From the not sleeping, you have already mentioned continuing to change diapers for
Right.
many, many years.
Right.
Whereas with typically developing kids, those stages end. We get through them because there's an ending.
Right.
We know it's going to end. And what's so hard for parents of children with disabilities, especially severe disabilities, is those stages don't end.
Right.
So I want to talk about that fatigue and how you got through it, because I was, after a week, I was exhausted. And I was young and energetic, and I couldn't, I just couldn't believe how you were doing it.
And I don't know if I had concentrated on that too much, I might not have been able to do it.
Yeah.
Because when I do look back, and because I was working full time, so getting up early, getting 3 kids off to the sitter, and with a very busy family life, and with a child that didn't sleep well, I was very thankful my other kids did do the normal, well, semi-normal. You know, they usually slept by 6 months, 6 to 9 months through the night. So thankfully, because that was always a pretty big,
Right.
when I'd have a new baby, and then Joshua was always also getting up at night. That was pretty, I think that's what I remember
How are
as
you
being
even
tough.
nice to people?
So maybe that's how I got through it, because once my baby would get past that stage, I was only getting up with 1 child. So it didn't seem so hard. But
I'm sorry. I'm
and I think I slept well when I slept.
Yeah.
Maybe. I have no idea.
you were out and you were out.
Well, no, because he would come in, so I needed to be ready. I think you just do the best you can.
So what would you say to anyone who's dealing with, just being tired?
That is a really hard question. I think the answer is going to be different for everybody.
Right.
The support system will be different.
Right.
I was not a nap taker. Some people are. So a
Right.
nap to one person might be really beneficial. I don't even know what I did, to tell you the truth. I can't give you a great answer.
Every day you just got up and you got it done.
I think I did. I loved my kids.
Yeah.
I loved my family. I loved them. And I wanted to do all I could.
Wow.
But I guess I was tired sometimes. I didn't want to look like I was tired. I do remember that. That might be silly, but I didn't want to look like I felt sometimes.
Yeah. And I think sometimes people don't want to admit it. It's like you say, you didn't want to look tired. You don't want to say, I really just can you just take my kids for a couple days? I need to sleep.
But maybe because I worked full time, I wanted that time after work with them.
Right.
So I did enjoy my hours with the kids, even though they were fatiguing, but they were wonderful.
Yeah.
But I just will say I was exhausted. But there's no magic remedy.
Yeah. You just did it.
Yeah.
You got up and you just did it. Well, that's amazing.
Well, but I think you also, whether it's a regular meaning, if you have a child who has stomach flu for a few days, all of a sudden you appreciate that they're getting up at 5 a.m. only.
Right.
Because you just lasted 3 days with stomach flu, which is awful.
Right.
And so I think I had those moments because of life itself.
Right.
Whether it was a new baby and then realizing, oh, now I'm only getting up with 1 child. So or you get perspective, because I would see other parents who were dealing with far worse.
Right.
And maybe not getting sleep at all without like a nurse being present or something. And so you get a perspective of, you know what, it's okay.
Okay, I'm sitting here in awe.
No.
No,
I had
really
some
think-
close friends that had really much tougher situations, and they're my heroes.
And what I hear you saying over and over again is creating that network of people who could understand.
Yeah, they can understand.
You had each other. You said you
Even
looked
though
at them and said, how are you doing it? And I'm sure there are times they looked at you and said, how are you doing it?
Well, maybe not. They probably thought, oh, wow, my Josh was easy compared to my situation.
Right.
But we did, you just bond forever.
Right.
Yeah.
As you deal with those things and help each other.
Yeah.
And just keep getting up every day.
Yeah.
And doing it.
And love them.
And loving
And
them.
love them.
You make it sound so easy.
It wasn't easy.
You make it sound so easy. I'm like, I was done after a week.
Okay, it wasn't easy. I want anyone to ever think it was easy.
You just did it.
But it was all the blessings and rewards far surpass the challenges and heartaches. But that's another.
All the blessings. And so I think that's what it is. It's keeping that perspective. Mm-hmm. That in those hard times, which will come, when you're exhausted, which will happen,
yeah,
just keeping that perspective.
Right.
And that's how you get through it.
Right.
That and some good friends.
It's good friends, wonderful family.
Okay, thank you.